Hi, welcome back to the IM4GOD movement. I'm Charcy Curtis. Some of you may know me by Sizzle Diva. As you know, this is the second season, and I want to thank all of y'all that have been following and tuning in. But don't forget, you want to go back and check out the rest of them podcasts because you don't want to miss nothing. And keep in mind, this show is only about testimonies and keeping people positive and letting people know the same thing God did in the Bible, He's doing today. So we hoping and praying that, we reaching some of you out there and make sure that, you can connect to somebody's story because everybody's story is not the same. But today, I have a special guest. And her name is Nene. I'm going to let her introduce herself because she has plenty of hats. And like I said, make sure you tune in now to look at them other podcasts because you don't want to miss anything. But Nene, can you please tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Nene. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I've been knowing Chauncey for a couple of years now, and I am 31 years old. Mm-hmm. I am from Long Island, New York. Mm-hmm. I live in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. I am a cosmetologist. I'm an influencer. Mm-hmm. I'm an artist. I'm an actor, comedian, and a child of the Lord. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Tell them a little bit about because you got your own Face Cafe.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I've been working with the Face Cafe franchise for about 3 or 4 years now. Mm-hmm. It kind of came back full circle. I just started out. I met this lady named Tara, and she was just like, hey, I need some makeup artists. I'm opening up a beauty salon. It's just going to be catered for women for makeup. And I'm just like, okay. So at that time, I was working in like motor pool maintenance, which was like a job that I never thought in a million years that I would ever have. It wasn't really a career. It was just like, good paying. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start taking makeup a little bit more serious, and I'm just going to freelance or whatever. So I started freelancing in the first Face Cafe on Ramsey Street. And, I really liked it. I liked the vibe. I liked the environment. I was able to kind of do what I loved on the side and still make money. So then fast forward, I continued to work in the shop, like, freelancing here and there, covering shifts, taking clients, travel clients and stuff like that. And then, she's like, you should open up your own Face Cafe. I'm like, girl, no, this is not for me. Ain't enough money in this for me. Okay. Right. I can't do, it's not going to pay any bills. So that was me ignorantly back then because it just wasn't, I didn't think it was my calling. Well, fast forward again, I ends up quitting my job. I was a digital arts executive assistant in this graphics art department for this clothing company. And I literally made a decision one day, quit my job, went to cosmetology school full time. And while I was in cosmetology school, she called me. She's like, girl, you should open up a Face Cafe. I'm like, I don't know. She like, I know a perfect place. I think this is what you need to do. She didn't talk me into it, but she talked me into it. And it wasn't like it was forced or anything. It was one of those things that my whole life people told me, you need to be in comedy and in the beauty industry. And I was always wanting to be a nurse or, the thing that black women always get forced to do when you are in our community. You either going to be a CNA, you're going to be a nurse, you know what I mean? Something like that. It's always caring for people. So I just thought that that's what I would do. But my calling was greater. I opened up the shop while I was in cosmetology school, and it was hard. Yes. Hard. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm quite sure, like, what is that, I have to say, if you had to do it, not all over, well, of course, all over again, what is that something that if you had a chance to somebody to tell you something about opening a business that you wish somebody would have told you, what would you tell somebody that right now, that if they was opening their own business, what would you tell that person somebody didn't tell you?
I'm going to say this. God has been so good to me. I had nothing but amazing people in my life the whole time when I was on this journey. I had people, even you, I've talked to you on the phone, like, girl, I don't know if I could do this. Right. I remember I called you, said, I'm dropping out of cosmetology school. Can I be your apprentice? You like, no. No. Something that I wish I would have told myself is to just remain strong. It's so easy. Everybody say stay strong, and that really don't mean too much, but you literally have to stay strong, because if you quit the very first time something just crumbles, you'll never be successful. If I'm going to tell you something that no one did tell me, okay, here we go. See, that's why you the host and I'm the guest, okay? Girl, you ain't gonna be nothing if you quit. Right. Most people say, oh, they want to, pat you on the back and try to tell you it's going to be okay. You're not going to be nothing. You will be nothing if you quit.
That's the easy part. Is
You'll
quitting.
Be nothing.
Yeah. Yes. So you have to keep pushing through it and on you, especially if it's for you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If it's for you, you definitely push through it. And, got to make a way out of no way, especially and you include him in on it.
Yes.
Definitely with that. But what is that one thing, too, that I'd like to ask you, if you had to do it all over again, what would you, do differently?
If I had to do it all over again, I would have started sooner. I would have probably taken heed to what people around me were seeing in me, because I've always seen something in myself, but I've always had that hustler mentality where if it doesn't make any money to me, it doesn't make sense. And what I learned is everything's not going to make you money right away.
No, it's not.
And to be a successful business owner, you need to be in business for at least 3 years before you actually see some of your income coming back.
Exactly.
So, that's something that I wish I would have done sooner, which is believe more in myself so that I could go further a lot faster,
Well, people all see things in you that you don't see in yourself.
Right.
So, we more hard on ourselves anyways.
Yep.
But, how do you feel about when people say, you should shadow someone in the business that you're looking forward to open up? How do you feel about that?
Shadowing, first of all, you need to find the right person to shadow.
Right.
I have shadowed several people throughout my entire career, from the time where I was scrubbing toilets to the time where I'm drawing blood to the time where I'm checking you out at the register. Life is about learning. You cannot be a leader, until you learn to follow.
Right.
You have to actually see people, whether you're shadowing somebody who means good or not, you need to see what's good and what's bad, and it all come together. Shadowing is very important, because a lot of people, what they do, it's a difference. I can say, oh, I shadowed Chauncey. I didn't shadow you if I didn't come and make a schedule with you, sit in your salon, literally learn from you, learn scissor angles, learn why you are the scissor diva. Me watching you on social media, following you, looking at what you choose to show me is not shadowing. And I think a lot of people, they do that. They follow people on YouTube. You're not properly educated. You're just doing what you like.
Right.
You're not really doing what you love. You're doing what's popping. You're doing what you like. And you do need to shadow somebody called a teacher and get educated.
Yeah, because like I said, if you do it for free, that's you love it, because you'll automatically just be like, yeah, to go to it. What is that thing that what your first time encountering with God, when you realized He was real, your first encounter?
I fell off a ride at a carnival. I was about 6 or 7 years old. I was at Henry Street Liquor Store Carnival. Okay, I'm from Long Island. Okay, there was carnivals at the liquor store. It's not like down south. It was more modest. Literally, they had carnival at the liquor stores on Henry Streets in Hempstead. Well, gets on the ride. My mom at this time, parents would let their kids kind of like venture out, you know what I mean? And you go on this ride, take this money, wasn't worried about snatching your kids up, in the 90s, like it is now. Right. So she's with my little brother, and I went and I get on this ride. She gives me this money, and I get on the ride. I'm with this Spanish boy. It's called the hamster cage, or like the hamster wheel. So I get in the ride. I sit on one side. The little boy sits across from me. So basically the ride shifts like this. You're in a hamster cage, and as it's going like that, it goes up, 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 up.
Right.
So the man walked past me, and at that age, I'm like, he coming back. He didn't. Girl, the ride just took off. I just held on that little boy like, I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I tumbled out, me and him. He fell on me. We fell back, and then we fell out. Thank God, because God was there, y'all. Yes. Literally, the ride didn't take off about maybe 3-4 feet from the ground. So it wasn't a hard, long fall. It was a hard fall, but it wasn't 50 feet. People have actually lost their lives on these rides and stuff like that. And I didn't realize, at that young age, I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't believe I survived this. I literally walked off the ride. The ride's still going, right? I don't know what happened to the little Spanish boy. Can't remember. I walked off the ride. I'm crying. I'm holding my arm. I'm holding my face. I find my mom. She's like, girl, what's wrong with you? I tell her I fell off a ride. As an African-American motherhood, we do. She comes, she goes, curse the guy out, takes me to the hospital, and, you know, I was okay. I had to do a little bit of therapy, a little bit of a lawsuit. Thank you, Henry Street Liquor Store Carnival. And that's that. But God was really, he was real. He was there that day. Like, he saved me, because that could have went so many other ways. You watch Final Destination, stuff like that. To this day, I like amusement parks, but I'm terrified of certain rides, especially ones like that.
Yeah. And what does the IM4GOD movement, what comes to mind when you think about the IM4GOD movement?
It means exactly what it says. Like, I'm for God. Like, I may not be for you, but I'm for God. You know what I mean? I love the meaning of the movement. And when I heard your first ever podcast, I was over there in the car like, oh, Jesus. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was so touching. It was so moving. And I feel like we all have those stories, and we relate to each other a lot more than we actually, think.
Right.
And I mean, it's humbling. Like, I'm for God. I'm at a place right now where I'm at a crossroad with my religion and my spirituality.
Right.
And my spirituality and my religion is one in one. I'm not one of these new age people where I'm saying I'm more spiritual than religious. That's just an excuse.
Right.
I'm sorry, a sorry crock of bull excuse as to be able to sin and do exactly what you want without any repercussions. You know what I mean? To say I'm spiritual more than religious.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when I say I'm for God, what it means to me is just that. I'm for God. I may not be for you. I can't put myself in a box. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not your place to keep me there, wonder what I'm doing there.
Right.
You just be you and I'm going to be me.
Right.
Because you for God and I'm for God. And we should be for each other, you know?
Right. Yeah. Would you like to tell any special testimonies, anything, for the people?
So, let's say a special testimony. Last year was a hard year for me. I was in school. I've been married for 6 years now. Never really saw myself having kids super early. I knew I always wanted to be career oriented, want to live this fabulous life, be in Paris, but it's too expensive. So we just in Fevy.
Right.
Okay. But anywho, I definitely I'm at the age where, like every woman, you wonder, like, hey, when am I going to have kids? So, I was trying to get pregnant, it wasn't happening. So I'm like, cool, this is around the time I quit my job and went to school full time. Literally 2 months into school, found out I'm pregnant, along with 4 other girls that were in my soon to be graduating class. We were all pregnant at the same time. I'm like, okay, God, good. So, I'm sitting on the couch one day watching the Super Bowl. This is couple weeks when my uncle had passed away, and I'm sitting there. I feel strange. I feel weird. I start bleeding, little drops of blood. I'm like, everybody's like, it's gonna be okay. It's your first baby. Don't worry about it. It's normal. I'm like, something not right. I feel it in my soul. Fast forward, I lost a baby. I had a miscarriage. It broke me. It devastated. Had to take 2 months off school. Go back into school, like nothing ever happened. Same. Pushing myself, applying myself, still trying to currently open a business, right? Got pregnant again. 4 months later? Now, I'm a person who has fibroids, and ladies, we always have to check on our health. Black women, we get the short end of the stick when it comes to health. And I found out a lot more about my health the older I got. Like, did you know fibroids and things like that? That is hereditary. Your aunts and your grandmother may have had something like that. So I was learning more about myself and had another miscarriage. This time, this one took me out, put me in the hospital. My business was already open. And I just felt like I wanted to die. I couldn't do it. Everybody at school was like, oh, Nene, you so great. You so strong. I just wish I could be like you. And then I got other people like, oh my God, I see you on social media and your life is so perfect. And it's just like, I'm at home. I'm going home to this big old beautiful house. Got this nice new business that, by the way, struggling, because struggling. I had one business loan from a black family, not a bank, to open my business, and all the while, my husband and I had to pay for school out of pocket. So I was stressed. And I can sit here and tell you the story right now without breaking down crying, because that's the real testimony, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When you overcome it, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm over it to the point where I can say this to you, and I'm like, girl, I feel good. You know, God just showed me that I thought I couldn't get what I wanted, but what that showed me was you can get everything you wanted. It's just in my timing.
Oh, yeah.
So you want this baby, let me go ahead and dangle this. God give us, he teased us too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he teased me not once, but twice.
Yeah.
Because when I lost that first one, I said it's never going to happen again. And it did. Then my business kept going throughout COVID, throughout those things, school. So that's my testimony. It's so long-winded, but
no, you listen. God is listen.
It's just I feel so good now. So.
Listen, and I can't wait till that big day come, because it's gonna come.
Yes.
In His timing, because you know our time and His time is totally different.
Yes.
And you know you understand, everything will be perfectly clear, like to you why it happened the way it did. And I like understand, you know, it's when I tell people, don't let it control you, control it. So you got that. You know what I'm saying? And my heart go out to you, and I will always keep you in prayer. You know
Absolutely.
how we do, whatever. And you know, just is there that gives people something to leave with, like, you know, something would you like to tell the people?
All right, so something that I like to tell the people, you know, shows like this, high production shows. This is great production, by the way.
Well, thank you. All God.
We all God, and I'm very.
All God.
If I want to tell you, make sure your production is correct. Okay. Let me leave you with some final notes called "Creating Your Own Platform," and I specifically wrote this for today. I want to leave y'all with something. You need to find and figure out what you are good at. Create a vision board or a goal sheet and set goals that are realistic. You need to properly plan and market yourself, such as Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, podcasting, blogging, creating a website. Stop being janky. It's 2020. We're about to be in 2021. Right. You put money into everything else. Balenciaga, Chanel, whether you earned it all or you bought it, put money into your business, into yourself, and stop just buying lashes and having C224 and want to sell them to us for $15 and $20. Girl, if you don't sell them for $4 because you didn't put enough thought into that business to be putting such prices on it. So have decent pictures, invest in packaging and presentation for yourself or your business. I have on IM4GOD wear today.
Well, they need to turn them notes down if nothing else.
Right.
But I appreciate you coming, and we have to have you back again one day. We have Girl Day. We have to bring you back. So you have to put it in. But once again, y'all, thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to check out the rest of the podcasts. IM4GOD Movement. Thank you.